Today, hundreds of volunteers are heading to Stony Creek High School in Rochester Hills for Make a Blanket Day 2019. And joining us this morning is Nicholas Kristock, the Executive Director of Fleece and Thank You, and Shay Rocco, Child Life Specialist from Ascension St. John Children's Hospital. Thank you both so much for waking up early with us. I'm taking a look. These blankets that are on the table in front of us, they are bright, they are fun, and these are all handmade?
They are all handmade.
Okay, and how long have you been doing this with Fleece and Thank You?
Fleece and Thank You is about 4 years old, and we're on a mission to give every single kid in the hospital a bright, colorful fleece blanket and a personal video message of support from the person who made that blanket.
That's so cool. And Shay, you see these kids day in and day out, and I mean, I think it's a safe assumption the hospital has blankets, so it's not that you need the blankets to keep the kids warm. How are these blankets making a difference?
These blankets are different because they're bright, they're fun, and there's a patch on them. So for me, I'm coordinating a lot of donors that come in, and sometimes with a lot of sick kids, it's hard to get people to come into the hospital to visit. So you hand them the blanket, they type in they go to the Fleece and Thank You website and they type in the code that's on their blanket and they get the video message from the person that made their blanket. So it's a good way for them to still be connected. And then the donor or the blanket maker can also be reassured that their blanket's going to the right spot. And then there's also a communication piece where our kids can send pictures of themselves with their blanket to the donor if they choose to.
And I can imagine, I mean, going to the hospital, it's nerve-wracking for an adult, let alone for a kid who is, you know, battling something pretty serious. How does this help these kids?
It normalizes their environment. It's fun, and excuse me, it also just kind of brings to light, and it's something that they also can take home, and that's really meaningful for a lot of our kids here in Detroit.
What inspired you to start doing this?
I had a couple friends that had gone through a treatment journey, and I saw that the effects of what that had on them, and I was doing a lot of volunteering with kids in the hospital. And my twin sister worked at a children's hospital, and she sent me a message one day and said, when you're free, you should make a blanket. And I started asking questions. How many do you need? How often do you need them?
Yeah.
Turns out they always need them. They dramatically change the room, and they never have enough.
It really helps make the room feel a lot more homey, I would imagine, instead of just kind of a stark bland. It sort of brightens it up and just gives them a little bit more of a cozy feeling. So you guys are trying to get a Guinness World Record. Tell me about that.
We are. So today at Stony Creek High School in Rochester Hills from 12 to 4 p.m. we will be breaking the Guinness World Record for most no-sew fleece tie blankets made at one event. Previous record is 2,000 blankets in 8 hours. We're going to make 2,500 blankets in just 4 hours.
Wow, that's a lot. So you need a lot of volunteers.
Tons of volunteers. We're going to need about 500 to 600 people to be at this event to make it happen.
And no sewing skills needed?
No sewing skills needed. You need 3 things. You need to be able to use scissors, tie your shoes, and have a good attitude. That's it.
Bam! That's just about anybody watching, right? So show up today, noon to 4 p.m., Stony Creek High School in Rochester Hills. The address on your screen there is 6755 Sheldon. Guinness attempt, 2,500 blankets in 4 hours. You can make it happen. We're going to have more information on our website at WXYZ.com. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, Simon, Hallie.